Good morning and welcome to Newswatch Today. I'm Summer Ottershot.
And I'm Raylan Lakatos. Social media possibly put U.S. intelligence in danger.
And Rutgers University employees go on strike.
Cameron Lee is here with your forecast, and Emmeline Perkins has your latest sports news. This is Newswatch Today.
Thank you for joining us this morning. Right now, we're taking our first look at the weather. Cameron, how is it looking out there?
Thanks, Summer. Well, I am hopeful and expectant for a warm and sunny day outside. We can see that starting to happen with the current conditions being around 52 degrees, and it's only going to get warmer from there as we move into a high of 75 degrees. Some clouds may show up, but for the most part, it is going to be a warm day with little to no winds. And as we move into tonight, it's only going to get a little cooler, but not too much, so it's going to stay warm throughout the entire day. I'll have more on this when we return back to you guys.
Thanks, Cameron. I guess we'll know more in just a little while during your full forecast.
I'm so excited to have weather where all I do is sweat.
Amen.
The Italian Coast Guard is working to save hundreds of lives on one of the busiest and deadliest migration routes and has led Italy to call a state of emergency of the migrant crisis. Over the weekend, more than 1,700 people arrived from a tiny Italian island from Tunisia, where the geopolitical climate has pushed people to risk their lives and flee their country. Many boats filled with hundreds of people have been running out of fuel before they reach the shore, which has caused the Italian Coast Guard to escort the boats to shore. But with the rough seas, officials are deeming it too dangerous to transfer people. United States officials are deeply concerned with the new leakage of classified Pentagon documents. They fear that it will jeopardize sensitive sources and compromise critical relationships. The documents are in relation to what is happening in the Ukraine, exposes how much the United States eavesdrops on our allies, including the Ukraine, Israel, and South Korea, and shows the degree of which the United States has penetrated Russia's Ministry of Defense.
About 9,000 faculty members and staff from New Jersey's Rutgers University started a strike on Monday, marking the first strike in the school's 250-year history. After almost a year of failed contract negotiations, they're demanding higher pay, better job security for adjuncts, guaranteed funding for graduate students, and more. Rutgers president says only a few outstanding issues remain up for negotiation, but the union says those issues are key. The union and schools say classes should continue during the strike. Union leaders say patient care and critical research will continue at university health facilities, but voluntary work and non-critical research will slow or stop.
This Friday, April 14th, Evangel University will be hosting the first annual Veteran Valor Day. This day will honor and celebrate our local veterans and active duty service members. This event is an opportunity to show appreciation to men and women who have sacrificed to serve our nation. Emily Conley tells us more on why this event is important to her.
Valor Veterans Day is just an awesome opportunity for cadets to kind of get to see just like the value of service and just learn from these experiences of these veterans. And then I think what I'm really excited about is we've got 3 underclassmen from our ROTC program receiving a really large portion of scholarship from the National ROTC program, and it's just going to be really cool to see them receive that big check.
If you would like to be a part of this event, it will be taking place from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. tomorrow, April 14th, in the Evangel University cafeteria.
It's the prescription most often given to children to treat Group A strep infections, such as strep throat and scarlet fever. But there's a national shortage of the liquid antibiotic amoxicillin, and it comes at a time when the CDC is keeping an eye on a rise in a severe form of the illness. Group A strep infections can range from minor to potentially life-threatening. No matter which form of strep a person has, treatment is needed. The current shortage is limited to the liquid form of amoxicillin, which is easier for kids to take than pills. But the American Academy of Pediatrics says there are other options. Evangel is preparing to showcase the mental skills of student scholars on campus. Reporter Cameron Lee has more on the story.
Student researchers at Evangel University have been hard at work preparing to share their work with the other students, staff, and the rest of the Evangel community. Student researchers from the Behavioral and Social Sciences Department, Education Department, Kinesiology Department, and the Natural and Applied Sciences Department have been working all semester on their research projects. These assignments, some given by professors and others from personal interest, bring in a variety of different topics, such as chemical bonds and even healthcare professionals. Abigail Long talks about how hard the students have been working on their projects so far.
The research projects are a lot of hard work. They start in the fall, right off the bat, the first week you're working on it, and you don't complete it until the last week of the spring. So it's a lot of work, a lot of time and effort is put into it, and it takes a lot of time for it to be approved, not only by the Institutional Review Board here at Evangel, but also by our practicum sites for social work majors specifically, and we really could not do it without the help of our practicum agencies and the social work professors here.
Evangel is putting on a symposium to showcase each of the students and their abilities. The symposium is a way for each student to show off his or her research and give each one an opportunity to present that research and their findings to anyone who comes. Mackenzie Robbins talks more about what the symposium will really look like.
So a symposium is just where everybody, well, this one is going to be where everyone presents their research that we've been working on all year. So we'll have posters, and it'll be an opportunity for our families and Evangel students and staff to come by and listen to us discuss what we've been working on, and I'll put wrapping a bow on everything that we've done.
The symposium will be held on Wednesday, April 19th from 3:30 to 5 p.m. in the Riggs Hall atrium. Any and all guests and family of the Evangel community are welcome and encouraged to attend to cheer on these student researchers and all that they've been working on. For Newswatch Today, I'm Cameron Lee.
Up next, we'll be talking with Bethel Childers to find out what this year's Spring Fling will entail.
This and more when we get back after this break.
Open up your books to page 360.
Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Talking about inspirational quotes.
You gotta believe in yourself. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
I spy something beginning with S.
Snow?
No.
Snow-covered trees?
Nothing to do with snow.
Head outside to discover incredible animals and beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure.
Wow.
So grab your loved ones.
Don't even.
And explore a world of possibilities.
Come on, this way.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you.
My biggest fear in the middle of my addiction was that I would never be able to get over it and that my kids wouldn't have a father. I started thinking, you know what? This isn't my story. For the longest time, fear held me back from ultimately being who I wanted to. I had to become a better man to be a better father. It's important to me that my kids are empowered and truly believe that if they can think it, they can do it.
Thank you. Did you see anyone's broccoli? Thanks for helping us. No problem.
You're welcome. We'd do anything for kids. Yet 1 in 6 children in the U.S. struggle with hunger. Help end childhood hunger near you. Learn how at feedingamerica.org.
On March 25th, the Evangel Disc Golf Club team won their first tournament of the year. Disc golf is a club sport that Evangel launched early in the fall of 2022. In their first tournament, the PC 18 Open, sophomore Bryce Code shot 2 under to finish in first place. Code had never played the sport until August of 2022, when he fell in love with it and found out that there was going to be a club team. He quickly joined. The Evangel Club sports program allowed him to play a sport he never thought of playing. Code tells us a little bit more about this weekend and his way into disc golf.
Me and 2 other guys on the team competed in it. We play that course a lot together, so I kind of knew what I was like wanting to do going into it. And through the first round, I shot 3 down, I believe, which is like right on pace for where I wanted to be. And then the second round, I actually shot 1 over, but thankfully it was enough to hold on to first place. I started playing disc golf this last August because my cross-country team is big into it, and they go and play together all the time, and I went with them, and the more I played with them, the more I realized how much fun it was, and I started playing a lot. And over Christmas break, when I heard there was a team starting up, I figured I would reach out to the coach and let him know I was interested.
Code and the team look to win another tournament this Saturday as they travel to Hannah, Missouri. Summer Rottershot is standing by with a special guest. Summer?
Thanks, Raylan. With me today is Bethel Childers. Bethel is this year's AB director. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
So you've been on AB for 3 years now, correct?
Yeah.
And you're a junior, so that means you joined right out of freshman year, correct?
Yep, I did.
What are some different roles that you've taken on being a part of AB?
Yeah, so on my 3 years as on AB, I have been just a regular member. I was on the decor team, and then that next semester, I got an opportunity to be the decor team leader, which was really, really cool, and I led that for a year. And then the director position opened up, and I ran for it and won, so yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit more about why you decided to run for director? Because it's a big position, and it's a huge jump from just being in charge of decor to being in charge of the entire organization.
It definitely is, yeah. Like I said, the position opened up, and at that time, I thought that someone else would take it and that I would just pick like another exec position, because I wanted an exec position. I was going to go out for secretary-treasurer, and then Christy Rowden came up to me and asked me if I wanted to be director, and I said, no. And then I thought about it and prayed about it, and then I just ran to see what happens, and then I won. So
You're like, oh, well, I guess you're here.
I guess I got to now.
This Saturday is an event that's coming up. It's Spring Fling. A lot of students go to it. Can you tell us what should we expect from this year's Spring Fling?
This year's Spring Fling is definitely going to be different than what we've done in the past. Last spring, we did it in the chapel, and it was a really good place for the spring, just because it was more central as people get busy and let's get real, more tired. But this Spring Fling, we're really leaning into the audience being a part of the show. So we have a lot of instances of audience participation. We've got some games all based around our theme. So I'm really excited about that aspect of it.
That is very exciting. What are you most looking forward to at this year's Spring Fling? This is a personal question. It's not your AB director. What are you looking forward to?
Oh my gosh. I feel like the sketches are so good. And the videos. And okay, if I can be stupid.
Sure.
One thing I'm most really excited about is we have ordered like buckets of candy, because it's childhood. The theme is childhood, so we've ordered so much candy, and we're just gonna be throwing it at people softly, and it's just gonna be awesome. And that's what I'm most excited for.
It's gonna be like a parade.
Yeah.
That's very exciting.
Exactly.
So you mentioned the theme, but the theme is throwback, a trip to childhood. Mm-hmm. What inspired this theme? How did Activities Board come up with this theme?
Yeah. So normally how we do it is all of our members pick the theme. So they write down a bunch of just whatever comes in their little brains, and we vote on which ones we like, which ones we don't. We narrow it down to 3, and then we vote on that one. So really, throwback, A Trip to Childhood was the one that AB wanted. So we all decided on it together, which is really cool.
I love that. I like that it's a group decision and not just like a dictatorship type of thing.
No.
Can you tell us what has been your favorite part of preparing for this upcoming Saturday?
I think, if I'm gonna be sappy and honest, it's just getting to be with the people of AB, the members and my exec team. We all just mesh very well, and we love spending time with each other, and I love spending time with them, and that's been the best part of it.
That's awesome. What, how do I state this?
Okay. I'm ready.
So you've been working on Spring Fling for a long time now. You've poured a lot of work into it, and so it benefits AB because it bonds them, but how do you think it brings something else to the campus? How do you think it benefits a campus? Because there's a lot of groups that put on a lot of events, and some of the events, honestly, a lot of people overlook. So what makes Spring Fling different, and how does it affect students?
I think that Spring Fling, AB is about a ministry of fun. And people don't realize how much fun and levity can really help people in their lives. And so I think that AB just provides that for these people, especially when it's spring semester, it's the end of it, everything is due, everyone is stressed. And we just give them this one night to dress up, to hang out with their friends, to laugh, and to not worry about everything else around them. So I think that's really cool.
I love that, and I love to see what AB is doing. Thank you so much for being here today with us, Bethel, and we'll see you Saturday.
Yeah, you will.
Let's go back to the desk with Raylan and Cameron.
Thanks, Summer. So, Cameron, can we expect to see more warm weather this upcoming week?
I'm excited to say I think we can see that warm weather stick around throughout the following week, but I'll have more on that when we return.
Severe weather can strike anytime, anywhere, but there's a simple way to stay safe. Hey, Jim Cantore here. I stay safe in dangerous weather by planning ahead. You can stay safe too with a few easy steps. Build an inexpensive kit with supplies for your family's needs. Write down important information like phone numbers and medications. Always talk with your family and remember any pets in your planning. Be ready, be safe. Start your plan today at ready.gov/plan.
Tornadoes have wreaked havoc on the states of Arkansas, Iowa, Indiana, Tennessee, Alabama, and Georgia, and Home Depot is stepping in to help. After already donating $200,000 to the Mississippi tornadoes last month that killed 23 people, Home Depot announced that they will donate $400,000, expanding the relief to the other states affected.
It's heartbreaking to see the devastation of these tornadoes. I'm very thankful for a place like Home Depot that would use their money for good things.
Exactly. You can see that they actually care about their communities.
Right.
And they care about all the people affected, which some companies say they do, but to see them actively taking charge, and they're working with these organizations. So they're not just handing them the money. They're working with these disaster relief organizations, helping fund that. So
absolutely.
I think it's awesome. Cameron, what's the forecast looking like for the rest of the week?
Thanks, guys. Well, we want to take a look one last time at those current conditions outside. It was 52 degrees, sunny when I stepped out for work this morning. However, it's only going to get warmer from there, 75 degrees as our high, so it's going to be a warm day. Some clouds coming in, but not too much. That sun should stick around with little to no winds. But as we go into tonight, it'll cool off just a bit, 61 degrees, but that's still much warmer than we've been experiencing in the past. Looking at our almanac, we can see a couple different things. We could see the highs of today, the 75 degrees, and the record temperature being 89 degrees. So at one point in time, it was that almost 90-degree weather. But I'm thankful for the 75 degrees as well. With sunset tonight being around 7:46 p.m. as well. Taking a look at the satellite, we can see some movement right through here. Also along this coast here, we can see all of this is going to come up through here. Some of it's going to touch us right along the bottom of that. We'll see that later on in the week. And we can see this a little bit better on the radar. We can see over here, all of this is that movement we were seeing on the other slide. However, as it comes up, it's probably going to touch us right along through here, maybe, as I said, later on in the week, but nothing too much in the next coming days. One last look at those Missouri temperatures. We know right now we're right around that 51-degree weather. Kansas City's at 55, Columbia 52, so we're all right around there together as it warms up as we go into today to those highs of 75 degrees. And one last look at those rain and thunderstorms that we were seeing all throughout here. So this is what I was talking about. This is probably what's going to move along through here as well. We can see some heavy snow over here, but that should not be coming near us at all as we have that warm weather throughout this week. So we don't have to worry about that snow heading toward just this little bit of rain and thunderstorms throughout the week. And we can see that on our 6-day forecast because we can start to see a few thunderstorms showing up on Saturday as well as a little bit on Wednesday, but nothing too severe. Something to highlight is that 78-degree weather that we see show up more than once throughout the coming up week. So we have 78 degrees on Friday along with Tuesday and Wednesday and 70s throughout the week. The only thing that's really cooling it down is possibly those few thunderstorms that we're experiencing on Saturday. It's taking a little bit of effect on the weather on Sunday, bringing it down just a bit to that 60-degree weather. However, you can see it's just going to warm up from there and just go back to that warm degree as well. That's all I have for you guys right now. Back to you.
Thanks, Cameron. So the rain always ruins my hair, but nothing lets me sleep better than a good thunderstorm.
Hey, I'm just saying spring weather is finally here. It's the sun's out, it's not too cold, it's not too hot. It's the type of weather that I expect to be in heaven.
Exactly.
So I'm a happy girl. Up next, Emmeline gives us the latest in sports. We'll be right back.
Kids put skis on as they were learning to walk. I want my kids to be able to have those moments with their kids. Being a scientist, I'm worried about climate change in so many different ways for my kids. From the second you have a child, you want to do everything to protect them. I think our action on climate change is no different. It's just an extension of being a mom.
There is a road laid out for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and walk.
Good morning. Hope you all had a good weekend and are ready to be inspired. One quick thing I want to remind you guys to be studying.
Major key alert. Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Today we're talking about inspirational quotes.
You want to get that paper? You better turn in that paper and get an A+. That's a major key. Another one. Mogul talk. You want to reach the mountaintop? You got to go hard. To succeed, you have to believe. Stay focused. Fly higher than the eagle. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote from recent history?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
Monday, April 10th, marks the beginning of construction on the NFL Draft experience outside of the World War I Museum and Memorial, bringing the NFL Draft to life at the Union Station. The NFL Draft experience offers interactive games that are designed to get fans into the game. These activities include field goal kicking, 40-yard dash, vertical jumping, and so much more. Kansas City Sports Commission President Kathy Nelson said that it's an amusement park for NFL fans, with so many fun things to see and do.
I'm not one to flex, but I made it to the third round of punt, pass, and kick. So if I were to show up to this, I truly believe that they would draft me.
Well, you should go. It's not that far away, about 3 hours.
Hey, I'm already there. I'm already there.
And now Emmeline Perkins with the latest in sports.
Thanks, Raylan. Caitlin Swoop led the Evangel Valor women's golf team to a third-place finish at the Missouri Valley College Invitational on Tuesday. Swoop placed first overall with a score of 235, just one stroke in front of the second-place finisher. The team will have a few weeks off before they will compete in the conference championship meet on May 1st in Morveva, Iowa. The Evangel women's softball team fell to Mid-American Nazarene yesterday. The first game, the Evangel lost 2-1. The second game, they lost 1-0 after going to 10 innings. Both pitchers had good games. Between senior Sammy Romano and junior Micah Cordell, the pair only let the Mid-America Pioneers get 11 hits. The Valor softball team will take on Missouri Valley Vikings tomorrow at 1 and 3. Rookie Jordan Walker of the St. Louis Cardinals is making history on Wednesday. In a game against the Colorado Rockies, he got a hit in his 12th consecutive game in his major league career. He is currently tied for the longest active hitting streak in the major leagues. He is also tied with Eddie Murphy for the longest hitting streak for a player of 20 years or younger. Come see if Walker can continue his streak tonight at 6:45 when the Cardinals take on the Pittsburgh Pirates. Springfield Thunderbirds goaltender, forward, and defenseman were added to the St. Louis roster on Monday. 22-year-old goaltender Joel Hoffner was added. He is ranked third for wins in the AHL, ranked fourth for the save percentage, and ranked second in shutouts. 24-year-old forward Hugh McGinn has 35 points in this season with 15 goals and 20 assists, and he has 73 points in his career with 32 goals and 41 assists over the past 3 years. 23-year-old defenseman Tyler Tucker has 21 points this season with 3 goals and 18 assists. You can watch the St. Louis Blues play tonight against the Dallas Stars at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Emmeline. Up next, a robotic dog that helps fight crime.
And Cameron joins us for our final forecast. Stay with us.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. Let 211 be your guiding light for mental health and other resources. Call 211 or visit 211.org.
Behold the angry giant. Behold the angry giant. Behold the angry giant. Behold the angry giant. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff. Like making sure your kids are in the right seats for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Hey, did you know that 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Go to theshelterpetproject.org and search your local shelters and rescues. Go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
RoboCops, which used to be a figment of a science fiction movie's imagination, are coming to New York. The new DigiDog is a robot with special crime-fighting tools that act like a canine. It's a 4-legged, remote-controlled robot that will be used for many situations, including hostage negotiations and to counter terrorism crimes. 3 of these DigiDogs are being added now, and they plan to add 2 more by this summer. You see, first the robots take the human jobs, and now the robots are taking the dogs' jobs. I don't appreciate it.
Yeah.
I don't appreciate it.
I know. There's like, it feels like there's just robots everywhere nowadays, and I don't really know how to feel about it. But the one nice thing about robot dogs is that it takes real dogs out of the line of fire. I guess you can be happy about that.
And it does help, like, obviously a dog can't like counter terrorism type of crimes.
Yeah.
And so like I see the need for them, but it's still, we're relying a little bit too much on the robots.
I know,
Yes.
I know. Cameron, how's the weather looking for the rest of the week?
Thanks, Raylan. Well, you can actually expect a little bit of time to spend outside with your real dog this week because we have some warm temperatures ahead. We've got highs of around 78 throughout the week. A couple days where it would be good to stay inside, a few thunderstorms on Saturday as well as on Wednesday. And we only see those thunderstorms really take effect to the weather change right around Sunday evening. It's going to pull that weather down for Sunday to about 61 degrees, but you can see it's just going to pick up and warm up throughout the week as it moves on. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Cameron. That's all for us today. I'm Summer Ottershot.
And I'm Raylan Lakatos. This has been Newswatch Today. This is our last show of the semester, so join us in the fall when we return. For more about EU TV and the latest Evangel news, go to euvalormedia.com.